Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Master of Command, a new real-time strategy war game that takes place in the era of Frederick the Great, a game with procedurally generated campaigns and tactical battles in real time, and we are possibly looking at, I don't know if, it depends on how long these fights take, but I am assuming that this is the final turn, or episode, if you will. Maybe not, we'll see. We have an enemy army that is pursuing us, a patrol army that's trying to fight me. I think I'm going to take the 20% casualties on my reserve pool to try to evade them. Because if I fight a battle and lose 6,000-7,000 men, which seems to be pretty standard, or even 5, I will end up not getting probably more than 1,000 of those back before the battle of the headquarters army, which is chasing me down. So I think we will pay 3,000-4,000 in the reserve pool to get away from this army, because we won't be able to outrun this army. This army will be on us within a day or two, maybe less. So we need to go ahead and buy time and distance. If we pay that cost, these guys will sort of pause for a little bit, and we can possibly get away. So we will see if we can do that, but that's where we are falling right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can get away. It's going to give us this trigger to fight the battle. I'll go ahead and pay 260 food loss. That's fine. Ammo loss 65. Fine. Attrition 20%. That was 5,000 men. That was a lot. But if I can get away from them so that I can, you know, because the headquarters army will find me first. And it looks like we're slightly faster than the first pursuing army. So go ahead and fight the Battle of Budweis, which is against the enemy headquarters army. If this is like the last time I played, there will probably be 2 headquarters army battles, which is not great for us, but I believe that's what will happen. So I think we've got to win this one and then another one. Now this is going to be tricky. Let's look at this. We've got a pretty experienced army, right? Grenadiers level 3, not great, but Grenadiers level 7. Hanoverian Foot level 5. Hanoverian Foot level 7. Field Artillery level 7. Highland Foot level 8. British Light Dragoons level 9. Artillery level 7. Musketeers level 7. So we got a lot of golded out units, right? Well, look at the goddamn enemy army. 8 for the Devins Grenadiers. 8 for the Austrian Grenadiers. 7 for the Austrian Grenadiers. 8 for their... Everything is gold except for 2 cavalry units and 1 Grenzer unit. My only hope is that the recent spew of upgrading of my troops' muskets will give me a better chance in a stand-up fight. But you can't retreat from a headquarters army either. So that's where we're going to find ourselves here as we jump in to this battle. And even if we win this one, if there's another one after it, we're going to still have to try and get away from this patrol army, because the enemy other headquarters army will be on us right damn quick. We'll probably also be out of ammo, which won't be great for that second battle either. But one fight at a time. We got to win the first fight against an enemy army that is larger and more experienced than us, and we just have to pray not better equipped. Maybe we'll get a good defensive position we can hold on, make him come at us at a disadvantage, but we will see. Okay, so this is similar to a battle I fought recently. This appears to be a reused map. So actually, I think that we will do what we did in that fight. We will move up to the heights. I don't think the left flank is... There's a little ridge here, but I don't think that's a better defensive position. Okay. Thank you for the sub, Obi-Wan. Appreciate the support. So here's what we're going to do. We've got everybody kind of grouped together. I'm going to move my artillery up on this large hill here, and then we are going to stretch our infantry out along the fence line and into this wood line to the right. I don't think we're going to try and extend to the far left hill. That would be too long a position. I suppose alternatively we could position on this hill and this hill, use the fence line to refuse our flank, but I actually think the far right is a better course for us. So let's go ahead and deploy slow speed. Go ahead and move these guys in column. Try and keep our position somewhat concentrated so we can have good amounts of reinforcements. This is a little bit longer of a position than I would like, but it is what it is. Move the guns up too. They are all limbered, so that's good. We need to have some reserves. I don't know why those guys aren't moving yet, but... Okay, so move accelerated speed while all these boys move. Apparently forgot about this veteran foot unit. And these grenadiers. Oh god. Enemy artillery is already in position as we come up. Oh, that was a rough hit. 48 men on that one round shot, it looked like. We're kind of giving them that unit's flank, but... a little worried about how much artillery fire we're taking while our boys are in column. I'll deploy some of these guys behind the hill. I don't really know if the game models physics, like, does the hill guard you from that if you're on the reverse slope? I hope so. I don't know the answer to that. But these grenadiers are taking a pounding. They're targeting both the grenadier units which are on the hill. My own guns are coming up now. This grenadier unit is going to probably rout. They've also got a general. I'm actually inclined to pull them back. Just for now. Embark. They're all in range. Just unlimber now. The general unit here, the Highland Grenadiers, are going to pull back. British foot will move up here. We'll disperse our losses a bit. Alright, fire in here. Move these boys up here. Alright. The general is going to move a little bit down here. And artillery is firing. I haven't really directed who they should be shooting at. I don't like that they've got a lot of sharpshooters out front here. I think the main brunt of the attack's going to fall on this hill, so I'm inclined to move some fresh troops up behind these grenadiers, which have taken a lot of artillery fire. So we've got some Infantry immediately in the reserve, 2 regiments. British Light Dragoons are going to extend the flank over this way. You're already taking some artillery fire, which I'd rather you not. But trying to disperse the impact here. Maybe don't shoot at the enemy light troops. Like, you're not going to do much damage against them. You're better off shooting at the enemy cavalry, where there's, I think, a better chance of doing meaningful damage. Or at least the infantry. I don't want you shooting at the light infantry, to be clear. Well, you guys should probably open fire too. Are you not? Right, at least shoot at the grenadiers. They're coming up here close. They move so fast. We're just on standard speed. I'm shifting fire to the infantry coming up on us. Alright, my own troops should be shooting. Oh god, they're taking a lot of casualties though. Those goddamn sharpshooters. I should probably charge them if I can. Not with my general, of course. Alright, they're trying to go up and over my flank there. $700 losses. I have to do something to drive these guys back. They will not survive a charge. So we're going to pull them back. Hopefully they survive if I get to a second battle. Okay, we drove back 1 enemy regiment at least. Grenadiers are flanked. I need those reserves to come over. Oh shoot, they drove these guys back? Oh no, that's right, charged. Alright, we'll fill the gap then. Turn on your flank. Bring reserves up. Those grenadiers are gonna break. Who did I just shatter? Oh, enemy cavalry charge. Cool. Maybe, you know, shoot the guys who are charging you? Just a thought. Can you fire grenades into them from here? Enemy cavalry's charging mine, aren't they? Well, that was too late to adjust. I saw those enemy horsemen come in and it was already too late. Okay. So, at least our veteran foot charge... Oh god. Where'd they come from? Managed to, drive back the enemy light infantry. This is a mess. Cavalry and foot. Those are my boys, aren't they? Why are they retreating this way? Maybe don't do that. I don't think maybe I ordered them to charge. Alright, right flank, we drove the enemy back. So far. There's still more troops coming up, maybe. Pivot to face. Can you wheel and brace? The Hessians rotted pretty damn quick. No, I didn't want you to move. I just wanted you... God damn it. I just wanted you to turn and shoot. I didn't want you to actually move. Alright. Somehow, I managed to drive back those veterans. This is bloody. We're holding our own, but remember, there's probably another battle coming. I don't know if I'll have time to replace, like, any of my losses. We'll find out. Alright, so we got 2 regiments on my left flank that could pose a problem. Hey, artillery, you guys all need to shift your fire because those enemy troops are, like, right there. It's probably too late to try and load canister for any of you. Oh, those guns don't even have. Point blank fire, at least. For the batteries that do get their shots off. Still a meaningful threat in the center of the line. I'm gonna risk it and have my general charge here. British Grenadiers, maybe shoot at the guy shooting you. You've done a good job. 1,500 casualties inflicted, dear God. My entire position on this hill is dead, except for the artillery. The only saving grace is the flank has driven the enemy off. So now it's time to wheel and get the rest of these boys in action. Do they have like one more shot? Why are they half loaded if they have no ammo? That's confusing. Any of my boys rallying back this way? The Hessians. Those guns got shattered, presumably by enemy snipers or whatever. Alright, those grenadiers on the flank are retreating. I think we'll win this. It's closer than I'd like. Hey, Red. I think we'll win this, but it is looking a little sketch. Yeah, they're retreating. Their morale is simply too low. Okay, the casualties are the concern here, and the ammo, so there's 2 concerns. Also, we're still being chased by that other enemy army. Assuming there's another battle. So we get 1,600 gold. We get a lot of stuff. What is the case shot or grape shot? Oh my god. Alright, so we lost 8,000 men. I can't take the veterancy and provisions. I would like to take the ammo and thalers, but I have to get the replacements. 5,500 doesn't get me all the way there. But with 20% reduction, it'll be close. Plus the 2,000 in reserve, so I think we do that. We did lose one of our generals. Several units did get promoted. We can replace our losses. We cannot replace our ammo. Can I reduce their ammo allotment? Like if I swap these guys out and just take their ammo and then put them back? It's a little bit of a cheesy way to do it, but my artillery is bone dry on ammo. And then like the other problem is these troops that took casualties, a lot of them aren't, like they're going to take, the replacements are slow. It's like 40 troops a day. And there's another enemy army coming. Down here, 23,000. So they have even more men than the army we just beat. You know, we are still being pursued. I think we've got to try to get to Köln here. To get... Well, they don't even have ammo. Well, it's just more expensive. They still have some. So maybe we can get out of the reach of that patrol army that's chasing me. 300 ammo is not going to be enough. It's not even close to enough. Dear God. A 600 gold pendant, like, great. The money's great, but... Alright, what else can I do to upgrade my troops? I've got some equipment I can probably swap in. In theory, I could buy a new unit, right? And, like, use them in the battle. Might also give me a cheap way to get ammo, right? Like, if I buy them, and then they're sitting in the... This is maybe a little bit of a gamey thing to do, but that's 120 ammo now I can... bring in. An expensive way to do it, but it did get some ammo back. That was the headquarter army, Furious, but now there's another headquarters army. That's the way this particular campaign works. I wonder if we'd be better off putting 600 cavalry and 1,200 infantry on the line. That would give me another 1,500 men, muskets, or whatever on the line. I don't need recruits, because we're not... I don't have anywhere else to get more ammo. Unless I double back and fight these guys, which I'm not going to do. Like, if it at least gave me a week. Because the headquarters army is coming, like, right up here. If I try and double back, I'm going to get caught by the army behind me. Alright, and I don't really want to do this. I'm not sure what the impact of this is. Okay, so all my reserves go away. Okay. The only reason I'm not more seriously considering replacing, like, some of these troops is that I... Also, do they have a noble estate? I don't... Can I sell stuff? Sell the pendants? How much do I need for an officer? Because I don't want to go into this last battle without an officer. Let's see here. 12-pound Liechtenstein gun, huh? 35 damage versus 25. I guess we'll do that. Problem with spending money here. Is that I need it for the officer. Someone else has a beer mug I can just straight upgrade, right? Is there really no other unit with one? I already upgraded that one. Okay. All right, let's see what we can get by selling some of this stuff. So these guns are worth a decent chunk. Yep, I know. I'll go to the quartermaster and sell this whatever that is. All right. Now we need to spend... I'd like a level 5 officer. I want the best officer I can get. What's this? Accuracy and cover bonus. So, I mean, like, the artillery getting cover would be nice, though. So it's like, what is more valuable? All right, 8 and 2 versus, yeah, we'll do that. I can probably sell that gun pick, right? Oh, not here, but... Okay. I'm probably not going to use the grape shot. Maybe I should, I don't know, but I'd rather the gold. Right, now I can spend the 944. What's this guy have? Officer command radius, morale, veterancy, morale drop, stamina. Okay, what are these? Stamina. Cover effectiveness, reduce charge. I probably won't be charging the enemy too much. Yeah, we'll do that one. I think he's a better fit. And then with the 150 gold or so I've got left, I can probably buy another upgrade slot for someone. Okay. I don't have enough gold to upgrade another. Buy another slot. I need like. Well, actually, this is gamey, but we're gonna take every opportunity to exploit this. Alright, let's just find someone where I need to spend 100 gold to get another slot. Most of these guys are too high for that, but there's probably one infantry unit that's a slot lower, right? Yeah. Well, they already have a cover bonus, though. I'd rather than... There we go. I want to give it to someone who doesn't already have that bonus. It's a bigger delta. Alright, so these British foot can upgrade to British veteran foot, which should make them better fighters without sacrificing critical manpower. Is there anybody else we can upgrade? There are units, but I don't want to upgrade units to, like, a smaller stack, I don't think. So we lose 200 men. We gain a little bit of morale, but we'd lose accuracy. I don't want to do that. It's true for these guys, too. Highland Foot. Grenadiers also lose 200 men. Now, there's a considerable bump from Highland Foot to Highland Grenadiers in terms of melee combat. But my hope is to not fight this thing out in melee fighting. Hessian Musketeers, Hessian Grenadiers would be the same. So yeah, we're not going to do any of that. Did any of these guys get... Here's the question, though. Is it worth one less artillery battery for one more infantry? I feel like if we can keep the infantry in front of the artillery, the answer to that is no. But if we can't... Also, did they completely remove the supply wagon perk? Because I haven't seen it all game. Anyway. I think that's going to do it, and now we just have to kind of try to keep running as much as we can. To buy as much time as we can. So we can get a few more replacements. Alright. I maxed out. I was trying to hope to get one drill in, but we didn't. So what's the makeup of this army? It's more men. They've got 3 artillery batteries. Okay. I might make the claim my artillery is better than theirs. But they've got 4 cavalry brigades, horse grenadiers, 2 of them, cuirassiers, 2 of them, veteran fusiliers, Austrian grenadiers, veteran fusiliers. So this is a more infantry-heavy unit. What are the Alt Modena Cuirassiers? That's a 5th Cavalry Brigade. Oh, okay, so, and a 6th So the difference between this army and the last is I do not see any light infantry, thank God, but there's a lot of cavalry, and everything is just generally still really good. I'm curious how that'll play out, because without light infantry... I don't see any light infantry anyway. A lot of heavy infantry, a lot of line infantry. I don't know how that'll... Okay, well, we'll see. All my troops got upgraded, so we are outnumbered by 7,000 men. This is the final battle. It's in Iron Man mode, so we can't refight it. Whatever the outcome is, the outcome. 2 historical regiments of cavalry on their side. Yes, they do have very good units. I think I have 1 historical artillery battery. I would like to deploy right away rather than have to march to a position so I can pound them as they come up better than I did last time. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but we're going to turtle on the back of the map. There's a slight rise over here. Let's do this. So we can put our brigade back here on elevation. Then our other 2 will just chill back here. There's not a lot of room for them to flank me on the left, at least. Also, not a lot of depth to have reserves. Hanover Grenadiers with their entrenchments because they're kind of in the open. Do I have anybody else who has that? Yes, this Highland Foot. So since these guys are basically in the open, I'm going to deploy them here. They've got elevation, but they've also got... Well, these guys don't have much elevation. Really? Is that the front of the hill? Alright. All right. So that's our line. Kind of a bit of an elbow here. Not really any room to fall back. Plenty of depth to have multiple lines of infantry go forward, though. Problem is, if they bombard this section, we're going to be toast. Maybe it makes sense to put two regiments up on this hill. I don't know if that's true or not, but if I put 2 regiments, maybe it's a diversion for the enemy to focus some of their artillery. We'll put 2 of the lesser experienced regiments on the right, and it can just act as a bit of a buffer. They're not going to be able to go around their left flank because they'll be exposed to these troops. The right flank is a little bit more in the air, but if they go way that far right, we'll have time. We'll see it coming. It also prevents this sort of area becoming maybe too densely packed for artillery hitting multiple levels. We will also deploy one of these regiments and refuse their flank down to the edge of the map. And then I will deploy 1 unit, maybe 2 behind that hill. Okay, Dragoons will guard that flank. 1 unit in reserve for the troops on the hill. That is a solid wall of red. Dear God. Be interesting if they added fog of war in these battles, because it really isn't. So effectively, we only have 3 regiments in reserve, which is a problem, but hopefully the lack of snipers will hurt them. They can't go around me on the bottom of the map. Not really, there's not room. I do have more Artie, but I feel like Artie's been nerfed pretty heavily in this game. Also, Artie will run out of ammo. That's part of the problem. If I had a supply wagon with unlimited ammo, I'd feel much better. You know, part of the issue also is these are thick lines. I did not optimize for firepower. I optimized for depth. Maybe we should adjust that a little. Put these grenadiers truly in reserve. Lengthen those guys out. Some of the units on the right are in better position to deal firefights to the enemy, but all right. But yeah, the more artillery is nice, except for the fact that it does pose some challenges in ammunition. Also, it's not like they don't have any guns. We got one battery here. What do they have? 3 or 4 batteries? The cavalry is the worry, and that's what I think I need to use my own artillery against. Actually, where are the dragoons? So this may not be wise. We shall see. But I'm going to move my dragoons up. If they're going to move their artillery in front of their line, there may be an opportunity, especially as they keep moving these guys up while these guys are holding in place. There may be an opportunity to weaken their artillery before they bring their other troops past them. It's a long way for me to try and get up there, so I'm not going to pin my hopes on it. I'm not going to exhaust my cavalry. I'm not going to destroy them quite yet. But this is a quirk of how the AI tends to move its cavalry up, that it does pose an opportunity to perhaps, if you've got fast troops, we gotta try and gallop, and they'll probably get overrun if I try and retreat, which I will have to. They're getting into battery much earlier than I would have liked. They shooting at me? My cavalry? They did. Okay, 6% of their ammo. So that means they have what? 16 and a quarter or 16 volleys in them? Or salvos? Is it worth them wasting their ammo on my cavalry? Any chance I can... There we go. Alright, get out of there. Shattered a battery. Enemy battery down. It's probably worth it if I lose the cavalry, but... They're still shooting at my cavalry. They're consuming their ammo, shooting at my horsemen. Which I will end up doing too, but looks like my artillery's in the fight now also. I see shells of mine careening out that way. Alright, get back to here. Maybe I'll get some time to rest before the enemy comes up. What's my artillery shooting at? Hungarian Grenadiers, you can't reach the cavalry, okay. So only one of my batteries has actually got anything in range. So one enemy artillery battery shattered, 2 remain. Worth it, I think. Alright, I want to hit their cavalry, but it's not coming up quite yet. Here we go. They're just on the edge of range. Alright, target them. Everybody else is firing at those grenadiers, I guess. I want to take as much of that massive enemy cavalry out as possible. Alright, we're probably consuming more of our ammo than I would like at extreme range. Yeah. I already see that ammo count is getting way lower than I'd like. The funny thing is the bad artillery gets more ammo. But you could probably hold fire till they get it closer, maybe. You know, these horse grenadiers have already lost a good chunk. I want you to weaken the enemy horse. No, I don't want you to move there. I just want you to shoot at them. There you go. Okay, boys, do your best. Meanwhile, these guys on the hill already engaged the enemy at unfavorable odds. Oh, they're getting peppered from range. That's smart. Okay. Get out of there. That was a dumb decision by me. Any chance you can hold and get another volley in before it? Nope. They're gonna beat you there. Well, I lost 2 regiments on a whim, praying. Ironically, I think they would have been better off shooting at me rather than charging me. Alright, the artillery automatically switched off a lot of those cavalry units. Okay. That melee is still going on. We managed to get ourselves almost certainly destroyed, but we did wreck. Can we shoot into their flank before we rout? We did wreck one of their grenadiers. So for a foot regiment to wreck a grenadier, I think that's absolutely worth the exchange. Okay. Should probably be shooting at them, huh? That regiment's in trouble. Move those Hanoverian foot up. There you go, cavalry. Come up behind him and pepper him from the rear. Someone just shattered. Probably my grenadiers up here. Yeah. Indeed, that's who it was. How are they shooting from back here? Interesting. Maybe shoot at the troops right in front of you. One of my artillery batteries is already out of ammo. Two of them are already out of ammo. Hey guys, don't get yourselves killed like that. I don't know where the regiment you were shooting at. I guess the regiment you were shooting at ran away. So now you should get out of the line of fire. So 2 batteries of artillery are done. 2 more are low on ammo. There goes the British veteran foot. Part of the problem with this kind of a deployment is there's almost no room. You don't have the depth to rally. Because they'll probably retreat off the map before they rally, although those guys pulled back just a little bit. Alright, we're pushing back enemy regiments here. Oh, they're still shooting at my dragoons. God damn it. Get out of their line of fire. They really want to shoot at you. I guess it makes sense, but... part of the other issue is some of my own troops might become low on ammo. See, infantry is usually not an area I worry too much about ammo-wise, but... Alright, they're charging my infantry here. Those Hanoverian foot... Wow. They wrecked them. That wasn't even a close... You're just gonna march right in front of me. Okay, I'll fire into you. Alright. Hang in there, boys. Alright, you want to lead them on a wild goose chase to hunt the dragoons by all means. Alright, we're holding in the center for now. Fire at the artillery with what ammo you have left. Or the cavalry with what ammo you have left. The enemy has yet to commit the bulk of their cavalry, which is a bit of a concern. They're really going to move their right in front of your flank? Yeah, goodbye, regiment. They're shattered. Alright, if you can't participate in the melee, then at least shoot at the other troops there. Okay. Alright, so they've got at least 2 fresh cavalry units moving to the left, 1 pretty battered one from the, what the artillery's done to it. More infantry moving up the center, although we did drive a grenadier back just there as we were looking. Hold the line! Alright, those British Grenadiers, you did your job, boys. There are 3 mostly intact, or maybe half strength, but 1 fully intact and 2 lightly damaged cavalry units on the right. 1,300 muskets versus 800. That is not a good trade. Here comes the first enemy cavalry charge. It's a weakened cuirassiers versus 1,300 infantry. They hold them easy. Shoot at the enemy infantry right in front of you. I don't think I ordered those Hessians to move that way. Shoot at the troops that are retreating to try and shatter them. Try and finish them off if you can. I've brought myself off the high ground. Let's see if I can get my dragoons around their flank. I've got other cavalry out that way, but... all the artillery on the heights is out of ammo. Another cavalry charge incoming. Shift your fire, boys. Everybody shoot at the cavalry as it comes in. Artillery, maybe you get a chance. No, you won't have time. Any chance you can reload in time? No, you're gonna... Alright, brace, boys. At least it's a denser line. I didn't commit to a really narrow front on that regiment, and so the enemy is running, and I would assume they will shatter when I fire at them in their rear. Or don't even need to do that. Alright, another enemy cavalry unit shattered. Fired into their flank. 400 versus 1,100. Multiple enemy cavalry units appear to be charging on the other flank too, but this is one of the historical units. Okay. They're charging my troops with the earthworks, with the Kaiser Franz Hussars. They won't break. I got 1,000 men back behind these British grenadiers. They won't break. Yeah. Alright, we just broke like 4 enemy cavalry charges. That might do it, boys. That might do it. Oh, the humanity! Someone else is charging. Are these guys charging on the flank? Alright, they're gonna go right into me, but I got them backed up by 1,000 men behind them. Their morale is also terrible now after all these casualties. They're just feeding men into the meat grinder. Just look at all those dead bodies. They look like ants. They're animals, and I killed them like animals. Sorry, Anakin. Alright, so it's just the artillery now, I think. I think their morale is broken on everything else. I probably have to move my boys out that way. Don't move the general. That would be bad. Major Boone's gone. Looks like it. Alright, boys. Advance on those guns. Enemy troops are retreating on the left and on the right. They got a handful of guns in the center. Their morale is toast. This thing is a victory. You think I won when I knocked out that one battery of artillery? I'd agree if I'd gotten 2. I don't know if one more battery... Like, this is not a particularly close fight. And I don't mean that in like a... oh, it was so easy, but like if you look at the number of units I still have ready to fight and compare that with, you know, what they have, this is a pretty, about as, I think, decisive as I am capable of in any event. Victory! Against a much larger enemy army. Hell yeah, brothers. I do think it was a big deal that we routed that artillery. I don't know that that was the deciding factor, but I think the battle would have been a lot messier without that. Also, the fact that they wasted probably a quarter of their artillery ammo shooting, that might have been a bigger deal. That a quarter of their artillery ammo got shot at my troops, cavalry. And I don't know that we lost fewer men in the second battle against their headquarters army than at the first. And I think, again, it comes down to I don't know how to counter light infantry because I don't equip my troops with light infantry. So, like, I think it comes down ultimately to the fact that I didn't equip an army with light infantry. They didn't have any light infantry. That's the weakness of that army. And for the first battle, it mattered a lot. For the second, it didn't. I hope there's not another enemy army coming. No. Okay. Thank God. Glory to the British crown. And Hanover. The war concluded in Bohemia, where the Habsburg monarchy was cast down in the decisive struggle in the Battle of Brux. Alright, so we survived for 499 days. We earned 45,000 gold. 0 modifiers. Inflicted 108,653 casualties against 65,242 taken. The largest battle that we fought was that last one with 40,400 men. That was the Battle of Brux. 0 battles lost, 23 battles won. Highest kills, one of our British brigadier units here, or grenadier units, 11,483. Most valued, the Schaumburg Lippe artillery, 2,700. I don't know what that means in terms of most valued. Is that like the dollar amount of the unit's equipment? I don't really know. Highest grenadiers, highest losses, the Highland Grenadiers, 6,494 men. Highest morale, the British Grenadiers, 89. Highest melee, the Highland Grenadiers. I should have given these individualized units names, because I don't know, like, I've got a dozen Grenadier units. I made not a dozen, but, you know. I wish it had historical officers, because we did lose a number, but Talbot, who fought almost the entire campaign, actually might have been the only officer who survived the whole way through. 25,810 kills for his units. Oh no, he actually missed the first 4 battles, but he was the closest, 19 battles. Sanford fought just the last battle. Onslow the last 2. Abermel 13. Von Knuppelsen 8. If you're an officer flying, you don't want to fight under me because you're going to die. Well, there you have it. We've beaten Master of Command, the new real-time strategy and war game out by the Armchair Historian Games? Armchair Historian Interactive. I always have to, like, remind myself the name of the gaming company that they have there, which is funny because it's not like it's dramatically different from their YouTube channel. But in any event, we won the campaign as the British. I'm not sure if we'll keep playing this or not. I've enjoyed it. I think maybe taking a look at the Frederick scenarios. Also, there was a major patch that was just released on the 30th, I believe it was, with a lot of changes to like AI behavior and other things like that. Also, I think they opened it up for modding like considerably, which was always the intent, but I think it was like a modding-centric patch. At least that's certainly the way the extended dev notes read. So maybe we'll take a look at something there. We'll probably give it a little bit of a break, give the channel some time to play something else. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Leave your thoughts below, and I think tomorrow we will either do a news article or a sponsored video for Strategic Command, and then we'll see what's after that. But hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.